Right then, this is a quick walk around video for a Honda Civic 1.6 SE. As you can see here, this is one of these facelifted or new shape models for this vintage. This car has covered just 31,000 miles, so it's a very, very low mileage car. Finished in black with a wonderful history attached to the car and in lovely condition. Lights and lenses are completely clear and intact. Bonnet really, really clean. Near side of the vehicle, very, very, very smooth in the panels. It's got a real sort of natural luster to the paintwork, which you get with a low mileage. Alloys look really good on the car as well, I have to say. Near side rear alloy, again, absolutely lovely. Look around the back of the car, again, very, very clean and tidy. Going to the offside, driver's side, again, wonderfully smooth in the panel work. I did see there was a little, I mean, they're minuscule, I mean, absolutely tiny, a couple of tiny little pin dents, I mean, but I'm being mega critical, so they don't detract in any way, so I don't think they do. But externally, the car is in absolutely beautiful condition. Coming to the back of the car, sorry for the water dripping down, it's just been washed, but the fabrics and interior looks pretty much factory fresh there. Coming to the back of the car, as you expect, the mileage, it's all been kept absolutely beautifully. So passenger side on the front, again, all very, very clean and tidy. So finally come to the driver's door card, again, wonderfully clean, and all the footwell area, driver's seat, has been kept beautifully as well. So inside the car now, dashboard looks pretty much factory fresh. It's just in lovely condition. See there, sat nav's been fitted to this vehicle, all working exactly as it should as well. And up to here, hopefully you can see 31,596 miles. If I come back, you see there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all. And that's the view you get as a driver. A wonderful, wonderful dash indeed. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda Civic 1.6 SE diesel. This particular car is registered LB62YBC, and the mileage is an extraordinary 31,588. As I say in all of our videos, the reason we do the videos, particularly the road test section actually, is to ensure that if anyone is looking at our cars online, they actually get to see the cars we're selling in operation. The reason we feel it's important is because we know it can be incredibly frustrating to go and look at a car, travel the distance to go, only to get them find out it's got a fundamental issue or warning light on or something wrong with the cars you drive along. So that's why we do it. We also do it on these very quiet country roads, very, very close to our premises. This actually forms part of the test drive route that we actually take customers on. So hopefully then it'll be representative of what you feel yourself should you offer to test drive in the car. The car, as you'll hopefully know from the advert, I mean, it is, mileage alone is fantastic. The service history is amazing. All of the servicing done prior to the one we've just done on the car has been done by the Honda main dealers. And it's had one private owner from new, so it pretty much ticks every box in terms of kind of ownership, history and mileage. And it feels it absolutely straight away because the car drives as you'd expect from the mileage. It feels as tight as a drum. The engine starts absolutely instantly, of course, and settles to a smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. And temperature gauge is running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda vehicle, and it's been running for quite some time now. The engines are superb diesel engines. It's quiet, smooth, unbelievably economical. I mean, and also the economy figures come relatively easily to the car. I've owned numerous 1.6 diesels of the Civics, and you know, when I'm tootling around like now, I'll be getting about 60 to the gallon. When I'm travelling any sort of distance, just keeping up the flow of the traffic, I'll be exceeding 70. So, and that's not trying overly hard either. If you utilise the economy setting on the engine, again, only adds to the fuel economy, which is brilliant. But a wonderful, wonderful engine in every way. And being a Honda, of course, reliability and longevity is all but taken for granted as long as you maintain the car regularly. Engine then feeds through obviously into clutch and gearbox. Clutch on the car, absolutely perfect as you'd expect with the mileage in the vehicle. Likewise, the gearbox, 6-speed manual gearbox, just a superb gearbox. All too easy for manufacturers now to give you I think potentially quite an unpleasant gearbox to use, because most gearboxes like this one are attached to the gear lever by cables, and that's fine, but unfortunately it also means that some gearboxes can feel lifeless and vague. Honda put a lot of effort into these to make it feel as though the gear levers go straight into the gearbox below. You've got this mechanical feel to it. It's got a light but hefty action, if you know what I mean. Quality of the selection, the synchromesh, absolutely superb. It's an object lesson to other manufacturers and just how to do it, in all honesty. And that, by the way, sorry, it feels as tight as it would have done when it was new. So it's it's an absolutely perfect order. Steering of the car, track's absolutely bullet straight. There's no vibrations at all at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit, and it feels as new. It feels tight on the road. The steering has a wonderful quality to it, because what it gives you is like go through corners now, you just hardly have to turn the wheel at all. It's absolutely precise and accurate, really nicely weighted. It's not over light where it feels just devoid of anything, because again, like most cars now, it uses electric power steering for good reason. But again, a lot of electric power steering systems can feel really kind of devoid of feel, like driving a PlayStation, but just turning the wheel, the car eventually moves. This just feels as though it's, you feel directly connected. It's brilliantly done. And the chassis, of course, works with it, because it's nice quick steering. You want a chassis that can cope rather than something that's sort of flopping around. This one, direction changes, doesn't matter what corner you throw at it, tight, long sweepers, off camber, whatever happens to be, the chassis loves it. It eats it up. So for people who enjoy their driving, and there's still a smattering of us out there, it's a car that actually rewards. You can go through some challenging roads and it'll put a smile on your face. It's a pleasure to drive. Flip side is this road here, which is horrible its surface. I'm deliberately going over the horrible bits. It rides it beautifully. It's very, very, very well done. What I'm looking for on this road, particularly this section as well, by the way, is just listening out for any sort of rattles or clonks coming from underneath the car that shouldn't actually be there, and there's nothing at all. Brakes on the car, I'm going to give them a good old shove. Hard enough to get the hazard lights on. What I'm looking for again is good positive braking, and it is. It gives you really powerful brakes. There's no kind of pulsing or vibrations going back through the brake pedal, so all in absolutely fine order there. Coming inside the vehicle, as you'd expect, even though it's not been cleaned yet, the car is lovely in here, absolutely lovely, and they are beautifully put together cars, absolutely superbly put together. It's got a dashboard which I personally have always loved, with at least Honda, to be fair to them, at least they have made an effort to give you something different inside the car, rather than the standard fare, just binnacle, centre stack, all the usual thing. What greets you here is something that looks completely different, but actually works brilliantly. It's not there for effect, it's there for absolutely good reason. The most conventional part is this centre stack here. Obviously this one's been fitted with a sat-nav system, which is all working, that I can see there. Below that you've got a climate control system as well, which pumps out absolutely ice cold air, by the way. But my favourite part, as always, is this wonderful kind of two-tier design. So basically all the information you tend to look at on a more regular basis, like radio, if you change like the fan speed or something on the climate control down here, you've got a little display down there, but it comes up with a much bigger, bolder display up there, so you don't have to sort of look into the car as you're driving along. but the most important, your speed, digital, high up, just I can look ahead at the corners, the road, the other cars, pedestrians, whatever happens to be, and I can keep my eye on my speed at all times. It is genius in the way it works. Down below that you got more conventional dials, big rev counter middle, flanked either side by your temperature and fuel gauges. But I think it's a stonking dashboard. It still looks fresh and modern, and it feels great to use. The whole car just feels factory fresh in the way it drives and looks. As always, I mean, I'm sorry, as I said at the start, the point of the video is to pick up any issues, of which there's nothing at all. It drives absolutely beautifully. But if you've got any questions, don't hesitate, do give us a call.